1, 2, 3. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed.
Give me that baby, you warthog from hell!
Hello. Yes.
It's time for Raising Arizona.
It's time for Baby's first Coen Brothers movie.
Baby's first. Well, it wasn't their first one.
No,
though.
but it was our first
That's
Coen Brothers
true.
movie. I'm pretty sure, right? It would have been.
I think so, yeah.
And like that meant nothing to us at
No,
the time when
it
we
didn't
saw
mean
this.
anything. It was just
a
because
good
these
movie.
were the days when Nicolas Cage was really cute.
Yeah, with his crooked teeth. And we've got Kim, a.k.a. Nathan, a.k.a. Hi, a.k.a. Ed, a.k.a. Glenn, a.k.a. Gail Jr. here with us.
And now she Little Doom Jr.
Little Doom Jr. She got another name.
We're not going to give her up. We're going to keep her.
Let's get the business out of the way.
Why don't you hit him with a quick biz?
Follow us on Instagram at Doom Generation Pod and on Twitter at Doom Pod for sweet, sweet movie scene photo edits. Join our Patreon at the low, low price of $2 or $4 per month at patreon.com/Doom Generation
Per month.
month. Not like
Not
every
like
day. Come on.
Like,
$2
not even,
a
like,
month?
once a week- a
$4 a month?
We're begging.
We're begging you. Please. We need to
Please,
feed our children.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine?
right.
For just
Oh, fuck, we'd be
$2 a
starving.
month.
We'd be
Almost
starving.
Sally Struthers this shit.
Oh,
For
my
just
Lord.
$2 a month, you can support a couple of podcasts.
That's right. Call us at 702-720-DOOM. Leave us a message. Ask us a question. Talk some shit. Whatever you want. Follow, like, subscribe, rate, review, share with your friends, please.
Share, babies.
And once again, this episode is ad-free thanks to Moss Fun TV. Thank them by watching on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or download on Apple and Android devices. Go to mossfuntv.com or call 1-844-4-MOSS-FUN for more info.
And
And we're
now-
done.
Yeah, no.
Business concluded. Yeah, they're going to do the music every time there's a lull. So yeah, I watched this movie so much as a kid.
It was kind of a lot.
I think it was on cable. It was another
It's
one of those
again,
ones.
Raised by the television.
Yep.
Once we get into Cable Guy, we're going to get deeper into this. About
Right.
How we do.
Yeah.
We're raised by the television.
But yeah,
So-
I loved it. I still love it. It holds up.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't watched it in a long time, but it definitely held
It's
up.
been a really long time.
So the cast,
Yes. Holly Hunter.
and I didn't know her from anything else.
No, but the most favorite thing that she has ever done is The Positively True Adventures of the Alleged Texas
knew you were
Cheerleader
gonna
Murdering
say
Mob.
that.
I
I knew
fucking
you were
love
gonna
that
say
movie.
that.
Oh, she's a beast.
If you guys haven't seen that, check it out.
Do it. I had to buy it because I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah,
I
it's
was like,
probably hard
whatever,
to
I'll take
find.
it to eBay. It was like an HBO movie. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
It was made for
so
cable or
good.
something.
It was made for her. This person that actually exists
Is
was
just
like
Holly
made.
Hunter.
Holly Hunter was born to play this woman.
Nice.
But anyway, that was much later. So then we have Nicolas Cage.
As H.I. McDonough,
Hi.
or Hi.
Hi.
And we would have known him maybe from Valley Girl and Peggy Sue Got Married.
Yeah.
Both came out before this.
Right. And like I said, this is back when he was super cute.
Yeah, and he was background on Fast Times.
Yeah.
He was-
and also a Coppola.
Yeah, as a Coppola.
He's
he
a
was,
Coppola.
He was still a Coppola in Fast Times, I think.
Back in those days, he was still a Coppola.
John Goodman is Gale, and we would have only known him as the coach in Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. It's been a really long time. I remember
another
seeing
one.
that one a lot. And
same.
That's going to be one that's going to be like, oh.
That one's
watching
not gonna
that.
hold
no,
up.
not at all.
I believe there's some date rape or worse. There's some
I'm not
bullying.
even.
There's
I am
hazing,
sure that all of those things are in that movie.
racism. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff happening.
All that good 80s stuff.
It's
that
gonna
you
be a
see.
hard one, which you wouldn't
It's
think.
gonna
You
be
go,
a hard
it's
one.
gonna be. This is Revenge of the Nerds. It's
We're
gonna get
gonna weep.
political.
We're going to weep.
But yeah,
Gonna cry.
I haven't
It's
watched
gonna
that
be
in a
so
very
bad.
long
No,
time.
there's a reason.
We got William Forsythe as Evil.
Yeah,
Evil.
Eval?
which we would have only known from Cloak and Dagger. Which did you see? I sent you that thing.
Oh
I
my
want
God,
that
I
new
want it
set. Did
so
you see
bad.
that? Cloak and Dagger. Is it a Blu-ray?
Yeah, it's like the special edition, like little.
And they've got like an insert that looks like the video game from the movie, and it's so
good.
cool looking. I want it
Like
so
I
bad.
told you, I wanted Dabney Coleman to be my dad.
I love Dabney Coleman.
I don't know why.
awesome.
It was just one of those things where it was like one of those 80s guys.
He was
I'm
one
like,
of
you
those
know,
dad guys. You
he's one
didn't
of
want
those
Charles Grodin to be your dad.
No.
But you did want Dabney Coleman to be
Yes,
your
I
dad.
couldn't.
You were scared of Charles Grodin, but you were like, Dabney Coleman seems like
Yeah,
to be a
he
laid
seems
back
nice,
dad.
especially from 9 to 5. It was all that bondage gear. I don't know what that.
Oh my God. Frances McDormand is Dot. I didn't know from anything.
No.
Sam McMurray is Glenn. Didn't know from anything. And Randall Tex Cobb as Leonard Smalls. Didn't know him from anything. So this movie shoots off like a rocket.
Like a rocket.
I hit play and sat down with my computer and
Yeah.
immediately had to hit pause. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hold on.
It's just going.
It's just going.
There's
won't
no
stop.
build up.
Just going. And then it went.
And there it go. And so we are introduced to H.I. McDonough, but call me High.
Call me high. He's at the county lockup in Tempe.
And he's getting his mugshot taken by Ed.
Turn to the right.
She is tough as nails, but he says she's just a flower, just a desert flower.
Short for Edwina. Turn to the right.
Yeah, she's all business.
Show the tattoo.
And he says, let me know how those come out. And he walks away.
Right. And like he talks about how prison life is very structured and it's like the same kind of camaraderie as baseball players on a peanut drive.
What?
I assume he means pennant. But on a peanut drive.
I didn't even hear that. That's
kind of
funny.
camaraderie they got. A lot of baseball players on a peanut drive.
Peanut drive.
Oh, I'm driving that peanut.
So he talks about the structure of prison life and the spirit of camaraderie between the prisoners.
Right. And I have that very large person trapped in the woman's body. They're doing that therapy.
So they're at
that
the counselor, and this man, this big person, yes, is talking about feeling like he's trapped in a man's body. But when they ask why,
those menstrual cramps.
he gets them real bad.
hard.
He gets them real hard.
Like, okay.
Like, you should go to a doctor,
you need to see somebody. Well, I mean, if they're in prison, it's not like they're going to get to see. This is as good as it's going to get.
right?
I'm surprised they do this.
That they had a counselor even.
Right.
Well, back when they used to feign that they were trying to reform people in
Well,
jail.
that's true. It's never really
And
been
not just
about
make money off, keeping them there.
that. Oh, boy.
So he goes to the parole bard and parole bard.
Parole bard.
The bard
on
of
the
parole.
Peanut Drive.
The bard who sings songs about
Bard.
jail. You go to the parole
You shall be
bard.
released to your own recognizance.
Yeah, the parole bard.
Bring, bring, bring.
And he's, of course, paroled
He's not,
because he's white.
of course. Well, that and the
And
gun
he didn't
wasn't
use
armed.
bullets, right? He
It
didn't
was
put
like on
bullets in
account
the
of
gun.
you not actually being an armed robber.
Right.
And no one ever got hurt and you just keep doing it.
And I love that he complains that Reagan made him do crimes.
Oh, yeah. I remind you, fuck the Reagans. But yeah, he says I hear he's a decent man. I don't know. Maybe his advisors are confused. No,
Nope.
no.
It was him.
Cruelty was the point.
Reagan made you do crime. It's real.
Reagan made you do crimes. All while Nancy was.
Oh, so he robs another market, gets another mugshot from Ed.
Right.
And she
this
is
time
crying
she's
this
crying,
time. And
'cause her
oh, this
fiance-
cry.
Her fiance left her.
And we're going to see this ugly cry several times through the movie.
With all her
She puts her whole body into it.
He ran
yeah.
off with a student cosmetologist.
And that pisses High right the fuck off.
Oh, he's a damn fool.
He's going to fight him.
Right? He could tell him I said that and I'll be waiting.
So he goes back to jail.
The familiar sights are almost comforting. That dude growls at him again.
Yeah, and then's where we see John Goodman and William Forsythe, Gail and Evel are there at the counseling session in the circle.
Right. Like most men your age are raising up a family and wouldn't accept prison as a substitute. Any men care to comment?
Right.
Like Gail's like, well, sometimes a career has to come before the
Yeah.
family. And Evel's like, well, working's what's kept us happy all these years.
Yeah, they're brothers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think so.
And so the parole board has to release him again. No live ammo. He says he never wants to hurt anybody.
Right. He keeps telling her, like, prison's not the best place to think. And as he's trying to, that dude in the top bunk.
The
is talking
Sandman?
about- Yeah. He was like, when there was no meat, we ate fowl. There was no fowl. We ate crawdads. There's no crawdads. We ate sand.
You ate sand?
We ate sand.
And then later he says something about the Sandman coming to take them.
Right.
But I think he means sleep, but I'm just thinking of
the
the
Sandman
man
that
above him is the Sandman.
Maybe that's
So
what he
I think
meant.
it's both.
Mr. Sandman. Yes.
He robs another shortstop, locks himself out of his car.
Oh,
Hi.
God. He's not a very good
He's not
robber.
good at this. He gets caught every damn time.
Every time.
Goes back to jail. And that's where you see the Woody Woodpecker tattoo. He's got
Right,
it,
yeah,
and there's
that show
no
the tattoo.
Doesn't say it means anything. It never says it means anything, but it will come up again later.
Yeah, but not really, kind of.
It doesn't come up, but sort of.
But it does. We're going to bring it up.
We'll bring it up. So Ed fingerprints him, and he puts his hand on hers and slips a little ring on her finger.
And don't worry, I paid for it.
And he goes back to jail. And now he doesn't like jail because he misses
now
Ed.
jail is doing his job. Now he feels the pain
Of imprisonment.
of imprisonment. And so he decides, he goes before the parole board again. He's a repeat offender. We're what is called recidivism. Recidivism.
A repeat offender.
There you go. And so then this time they let him go. And then he walks straight in, a free man on his knees.
And proposes to Ed.
And he's like, hey, Kurt, the guy she's currently booking.
And so she marries him just based on the 3 times she booked him into jail and that he asked.
It seemed
They've
like there
spent
was like
no time
It
together.
seemed like it was more than 3 times, but like the 3 times.
But
they
that's
spoke
how
to
she
each
knows
other.
him is just from her booking
Yeah.
him into jail.
Yeah,
And no other
She just
way.
knows him from jail.
But she gonna marry him.
Yeah.
I mean, he cute.
I,
But
well, she knows his record. She knows he's not like a violent
True, that's
rapist
true.
and like child murderer.
true.
So I mean, you know,
So they
take
get
the
there.
good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have.
Facts of life.
Oh, the
Facts of life. There's a time you gotta go. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not giving fucking Alan Thicke's estate any money. He wrote that one. You guys know that Alan Thicke wrote the
Alan
Facts of
Thicke
Life
did
theme.
Fact. He
I
wrote
think
a
Growing
couple, didn't he?
Pains, a couple, different strokes.
That's right. Which now I can't think of the theme for that.
Oh fuck! What is the theme for? What is it?
Is that one?
Which one?
Different strokes.
No, what's the one that I don't think was
No.
Oh, the Growing Pains one.
Yeah, I think
I always
Yeah.
get that one mixed up with what's the other? Family Ties.
Wait, I thought that
Sha-na-na-na.
was him. Oh my god.
Yeah, Shauna. That one I watched more recently.
That one was Sha-na-na. Oh, ba-ba-ba-doo. Sha-na-na-na.
Yeah. So anyway,
We just gave Alan Thicke's estate so much fucking money. We're like, we're not giving him no money. And
let's
then
sing
proceed
every
to,
song
like,
he's ever made.
do an Alan Thicke fucking medley.
Yep. Now let's sing all Robin Thicke songs.
Wait, put your finger in my butthole first.
Blurred lines.
You know I want it.
I know she want it. So they get married. They get their starter home.
Talking about fucking race.
They get their starter home. Hi and Ed. I almost said
yeah.
hey and I. I don't know what the fuck.
He and I,
Hey and I.
Hi and Ed, her pa staked them a little homestead.
Which is just
out
a
in the middle
trailer.
of fucking nowhere,
Yeah.
Tempe.
He gets a job drilling holes in sheet metal.
Yeah, at Hudsucker Industries.
Hudsucker Industries. Tessa spotted. I did not notice that.
I didn't spot it. Actually, that's not true.
Oh,
That's
it's
not
in
true.
notes?
Don't lie on me. I read it.
Okay.
And even though I knew that, and
Get on the internet.
I saw it on the internet, I did not see it with
So
my
you
own
know it's
eyes.
true.
I read it with my own eyes. I didn't see it with my little eye.
So he says it's like prison with paychecks and Ed waiting at home, which of course, y'all, that's jobs, right?
Right? She's at least waiting at home every day, and at the end of the week, a paycheck.
But that's the salad days.
Oh, that's right. And he's fucking stressing me out, watering the dirt with the socks and the flip flops. Like it's gonna get your
So
sock
muddy.
is gonna get wet, and you're
She's knitting away. She wants a baby. They got too much love and beauty for just the two of them.
That's right. And every day they keep a child out of this world is a day they might regret living. Which nope,
You're good.
no idea.
So then they just start fucking all the time.
Right. They do it on days that they're not fertile, just to be sure. And I love this picture of them watching the sunset. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know, it's just a pretty scene.
And she wallpapers the wall with like fucking baby photos.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
all
What did
right,
she do
calm
over
down.
that? Yeah, it's all...
Calm down.
Yeah, she got the baby fever.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
So one day she comes home from work a hot fucking mess, and
Oh,
we get
she's
this
got
ugly
the
cry
siren
again.
on, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Baron."
And so they go to the doctor's office. She's sobbing. He's explaining it with a big old smile on his face.
Right? Yeah, the doctor like, look, nothing works in here. She looks as fertile as the Tennessee Valley, but her uterus was a rocky place where his seed will find no purchase.
They tried adoption, but he has a criminal history, so AR declined.
Right, and even though she's a twice decorated officer, they figured that would cancel it out, but no, it does not.
The pizzazz goes out of their lives. She lost all interest in criminal justice and housekeeping.
And yes, and then she turned in her badge. She's very depressed.
Yes. High catches himself driving past convenience stores, not on his way home. And then one day, the biggest news ever.
The Arizona Quints were born.
5 babies born to Florence and Nathan, Arizona, the owner of Unpainted Arizona Furniture
The
Stores.
largest selection of unpainted furniture in the state.
Which I've never heard anything advertised as unpainted furniture.
Mrs. Arizona took fertility pills and hit the jackpot.
And now, is it
I
just
don't know
me, or
about that.
this couple's clearly over 50, right?
Oh, yeah. And them again, I was going to say, when they show them later, they're like the Maitlands sitting there at 9 o'clock at night with like a belt.
Yeah.
And the updo and the jewelry. Yeah.
So, more than you can handle, laughs Dad, it says in the paper.
Right.
And so Hyde says, y'all without sin can cast the first stone.
Mm-hmm. They felt it unfair that others should have so much and we should have so few.
But with the benefit of hindsight, maybe it wasn't such a hot idea.
Right. And then we see Hi and Ed strapping a very large ladder to the station wagon.
And then title credits. Finally.
I know. 11 minutes in.
So they've met, they've married, they've planned to kidnap a child before the title credits.
Right. And then we have the yodeling again. Y'all want me to do it again? No. No.
It gives me Mars attacks too.
It just gives me everything.
They used that kind of
All
music.
the things.
So the Arizonas are at home, and this is so they're all over 50. They're all like buttoned up at night times.
Yeah.
And this woman had 5 babies how long ago?
Months ago?
But it's that trim figure.
Trim.
She might weigh 108.
You know what? She got them bird bones. She could be 108.
But
She's
this
all
woman,
pinchy.
this old pinched woman
got
just
it
had 5
folded.
babies.
She's got it folded.
Oh, shit.
It's all like just real loose. It didn't snap back because how could it? Well, how could it?
That's why she's
50.
got the belt on. Because if not, she's just like has
If
to
she
pick
let
up the
that
folds
go,
of her.
it would drop down the front of her skirt.
Or that's where it is. She's belted above.
Oh, that's what. No, you'd see it on that chair. She was sitting there. That's why she was sitting there with her knees slightly apart.
Because the belly.
It had to accommodate. It had to sit, rest.
Oh man.
She had to fold it. She put the belt over it.
So Mr. Arizona's on the phone with work, yelling at somebody.
Well, she had enough money to have it hacked off. They just
That's
pulled it
true.
real tight and
That's
hacked it
true.
off and sewed her up.
And Hi is already upstairs stealing a baby or trying to steal a baby.
Right. It's what is it? Wednesday, April 12th at precisely 8:45 in the p.m.
And like I would have waited later.
Well, they
It's not
also
very
like they
late.
look. They're like looking up at the ceiling. Like
They're wide awake.
yeah.
Oh no, and the parents
They
are like they
hear
fully
something-
hear it. Well, and then he hears a baby cry and he goes, "It sounds like Larry." Like you can tell.
And it is in fact Larry.
Like it's actually a pretty good dad. He can
Yeah.
spot which of the 5 of them.
it's impressive.
Right.
Or he got lucky.
And then you look at this bedroom and like these kids are, I mean, they got the life. That's
Oh, yeah.
that room is. I mean, besides the fact
Well,
they
they-
made all 5 of them share a fucking single crib.
They had to paint the crib first because it was unpainted.
All that furniture was.
It was all unpainted furniture.
Yep. And so they're in their giant crib, and Hi
Mm-hmm.
is there trying to choose one. And for whatever reason, he starts taking babies out of the crib.
Right. Why? Just
Why are you doing
look
this?
at them,
Grab one and go.
Pick 'em. Yeah. It
Like,
doesn't matter
I think
which.
he was picking him up to see like how they reacted to him, maybe
I
like
don't
because
know.
like if they because that first one he picked up got squirmy and crying, and
Right,
so
he
I
was
think
like,
maybe
"Oh, no,
he put him down.
not
Thinking,
that one.
yeah, not that
Not
one. But why'd you
Larry.
take them all out? You took them all out of the damn car. Well, no, the one jumped out on his back.
True. Fell out on him and and whatever.
But
So,
yeah.
I guess so. But yeah,
He got himself in a real Three Stooges situation here.
He's in a real bind. And that's like all havoc. The one starts crawling out, and then Dad finally suggests
Maybe you should go check on them. They're making a lot of thumping noise for like, what are they supposed to be? Not even like maybe a year?
Not even a year?
I mean,
she keeps saying toddlers.
She keeps saying toddler, but they're not walking.
No.
So
because
9
in fact,
months,
one
8
of these,
months?
there was 15 babies total that played the quince, and one of them got fired because they learned to walk. And like the mom,
no, we can't have a walking
the mom,
baby.
I guess it was red. I wasn't there, but I guess the mom tried putting their baby shoes on backwards to stop it from walking so that they wouldn't get fired. And I mean, it's not like you're fired for being a shitty baby.
Right. It's just,
we just need this baby
smaller
not
babies.
to walk.
Yeah. Sorry.
Babies will do what babies do. Don't put their shoes on backwards. That's fucked up. Yeah, I'll take your check and go.
So yeah, he's got babies everywhere. One in the closet, one under the bed, one going out the door, coming down the hall, almost about to hit the stairs.
He swoops up too, right as Mrs. Arizona is coming up the stairs.
Yep.
And he like runs out empty-handed, and she comes in, and all the babies are just sitting there.
Yep. Just fine.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Where's the baby?
Where's the baby?
Where's the baby?"
And he's like, "Come on!" They started crying. They were all over me. It was kind of horrifying.
She was like, "Yeah,
he said it was
babies
kind of
cry.
horrifying.
I'm not leaving without a baby.
Don't come back here without a baby."
Yeah, don't you come back here without a baby.
So he peeks through the window and sees Mrs. Arizona comforting the babies.
Yes,
and he's making little faces at one, making him smile.
That's right. And again, that her hair is all coiffed. Mm-hmm. She got them pin curls and a chignon.
I mean, they do seem like good parents, but the way they look, you don't think they're gonna be good parents. So I could see how you looked at them in the paper and went, "These fucking assholes don't need my babies. Come on, these rich people, they could give a
hoot."
And it made sense as a kid. You were like, "Yeah, 5.
Why not?
I mean, you can't have any."
Remember those toys? Remember those toys? They were like the little dollies, and it would come with up to 5 babies. The Quince.
I do.
Or no, it was 5 babies. It was like the 5 babies.
No, but there was something also. Maybe it wasn't babies. Maybe it was a puppy. But there was something that was
like it would come like puppy surprise.
But there was something that was a surprise amount.
Surprise.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, I only
you
got
might just
one.
get one. Or you could get up to 5, something like that. Oh man.
I think the best I saw anybody get was like 2.
I don't even remember if I ever had any or not.
I didn't get one. I wanted one so bad. I wanted to unzip it and give birth.
I don't remember having any dolls that gave birth. I don't think I did. Doesn't sound familiar.
No.
I had the baby alive, which pooped.
I had a weird doll. It was very much like a Chucky doll. It was called Baby Heather.
That sounds familiar.
And it was like really heavy, and it was like robotic, and it would be like a baby. And then it would grow to be a toddler. Like it would
You're blowing my mind right now. What?
Yeah, no.
How does it grow?
Well, not like grow, but it would like start off like as a like and it would cry.
Oh, and then it
would like talk.
I thought you meant like it physically
not
change
anything like that. It was just like
toddler.
This
I'm
huge,
like, what?
It was like a Chucky-sized doll.
That sounds familiar. Baby
and it was
Heather.
heavy as fuck. No, because it was like it was heavy. It was like a robot doll. And it was like, but it would go off in the middle of the night because it was like the 80s. It was right around the time you'd have Child's Play. So to have this thing cry in the middle of the night, it was weird. And then my brother used to like carry it because he was littler than me. He would carry it around by its head until its head popped off. And then it had like all these wires that was connecting the head.
No.
Oh, it was twisted.
Oh no, that sounds horrifying. That
it was
sounds
twisted.
Super familiar. I feel like I wanted one.
Baby Heather. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, this looks familiar. I think I wanted one, and my deadbeat dad, instead got me like a Kmart hollow plastic version of Baby Heather that didn't have any robotics whatsoever. It was just
noise.
It was just a big ass doll,
big dolly,
like a 2 foot or 3 foot.
I would have rather
doll.
had that. I'd trade you. That
yeah,
shit
mine
was
didn't give me nightmares though.
Yeah, no, it didn't work very well. It was like a burgeoning little AI toy. It is. It was. I'm kind of glad its head popped off. And I didn't have to have it anymore.
Back to the real babies.
That's right.
So he gets a kid. He shows up to the car. Which one? I don't know. Nathan Jr.
I think this one's Nathan Jr.
And he brought the instructions.
the Dr.
Spock child
manual.
care manual.
Mhm.
And she is so excited.
Oh, she's
He
like,
is
we did the
so
right
beautiful.
thing. He's so beautiful.
Don't you cuss around him.
Yeah, he's fine.
We are doing the right thing, aren't we?
Right. And it's like, well,
There's
Now-
what's right and what's right. And
never the twain shall meet. Whatever that means, right?
Won't his mama be upset?
Oh, well, even though she's got more than she can handle.
She has 4 more.
Yeah,
And
there's
then-
almost as good as this one.
I
love him so much. I know you do, honey.
Woo! I know you do.
Oh,
She
Holly
says it twice. Yeah.
Hunter. Yes. Holly Hunter.
She goes hard.
Every
She bring
time.
it to you every
I don't know
ball.
why you're gagging.
So at home, they have a welcome sign for this child who
Right,
can't
he makes
read.
them wait outside. He's like, hold on. He's got to go in there and start playing Home on the Range.
And puts his Playboys away.
Yeah, he looks at it first. He's like,
Yeah.
hold on.
Oh,
let me
wait,
get
one
over
more
it
glance.
before I throw it under the mattress.
Puts
I thought I was
on
going to
that-
throw it away.
No.
No.
Puts on that Fisher-Price record player
Yes.
and says,
Oh.
bring him in.
Yes, it's time.
This is it.
Mhm.
Feast your eyes about, old boy.
Yeah, this is where we eat. This is the divan.
She tells him again, don't you cuss around him. Oh, he don't know a cuss word from
Shinola.
Shinola. And now Hai wants to hold him too. And the way he holds this baby is like he has never been around a baby ever in his life.
I was worried for a second that
And
he
the
was gonna
baby
drop
seems
this
fine
baby.
about it, but
The baby
it
is
has
fine,
to be
I'm sure.
uncomfortable. Like, why is this man holding me like I'm a
know.
fucking piece of shit? Like
Right.
he's all like out from his body. Like here.
Baby probably stinks. I don't know.
He's a little outlaw.
Yeah, he's a scandal, isn't he? Got that
No,
twinkle
he's a
in his
good
eye.
boy.
He's a good boy. Ain't too good.
You could tell by that twinkle in his eye.
Uh-huh. Like, well, we better get him to bed.
Oh, but Hai wants a picture.
He wants to preserve the moment. Now Ed's starting to get a little nervous. I'm getting a little nervous.
It's a big responsibility.
We've never done anything like this. I want you to be here and home with the family. I want everything to be decent and normal from here on out.
So he hits the timer on the camera, runs in for the
He
photo.
keeps telling her like it's about to
Look
pop.
at
It's
look
about
at
to
the-
pop.
Look
Like,
at the
you
camera.
look at the camera.
Look at the camera.
Yeah,
And no, they get a photo of him looking very anxious.
it's all awkward.
her looking at him, and I think the baby was maybe looking at the camera.
No, I don't think the baby was looking at the camera.
I think he was looking up at them or something.
Yeah. And then back at the prison,
Outside the prison in the rain and mud.
this head comes through the muck screaming.
Gail is birthed from the mud.
Yes.
And like he's screaming like a woman in labor, but he's being birthed.
Right.
So it's a weird.
From Mother Earth.
And he screams into the night.
Ah!
And he reaches his arm down into the hole and, pulls his
up
brother
the
out
nail.
by the legs.
And it's like because he does. I feel like there's a thing later because isn't John Goodman in a bunch of Coen
Yeah,
Brothers
he's in a bunch
movies?
of Coen Brothers movies.
It gives me a lot of. I think it's just the yodeling and all the country ass country, but that "Oh brother, where art thou?"
That's another really good movie.
And I have a note about that later. We'll get there in a little bit, but I'll mention it then.
So
But
they get to this gas station bathroom and fill their hair with pomade. Like
This is where-
so much pomade.
This was my note. It was like,
Yeah.
what is with them and pomade?
Yeah, because they
Because
did that
they did
in
that.
Oh
in
Brother, Where Art Thou?
That was the thing. It was the very next note.
And so they're filthy and caked in mud, but
Yes.
they got to get their hairstyle.
Right. They got to get their do right.
They steal a station wagon from the pump and head out.
Straight to High and Ed's.
So baby is asleep at home,
Mm-hmm.
and Hai and Ed fell asleep sitting up next to the crib.
Right. They bang on the door like the damn
Open up!
police.
It's the police. Which you're convicts, like
I know.
escaped convicts, coming
Like-
to an ex-con's house. Why in the fuck is that the way
Well,
you
because
knock on the door
already
at 2
Ed,
a.m.?
who is not an ex-convict, is ready to go full Ruby Ridge on this situation.
Oh yeah,
She's
they
like,
ain't fun. They ain't finna split up the family.
right. They ain't splitting up the
I'd
family.
like to see him try.
Right?
He's
Like,
got his gun. He's
yeah, like,
putting bullets in it
yeah,
for the first
he loads
time.
the gun. That's right.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's just Gail and Evel Snokes. That's right. That's what their last name
Kind
was.
of late for visitors, isn't it?
Right. It's 2 a.m.
But they just got out of the joint. We got to show them some
A
hospitality.
little hospitality.
And they immediately zero in on this baby.
Oh, looks like you've been up to the devil's business.
You got a him or a her?
It's a him.
We just call him Junior.
Yeah, Junior JR, like the TV show.
And then Gail sees the welcome sign like, well, where's he been?
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, within Tempe or Phoenix.
They gave
or
like
whatever,
multiple stories. Yeah.
My parents and like, oh, I thought your parents were dead.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
And what's that smell?
Yeah.
Oh, we tunneled out and hit the main sewer line. So they're not even hiding
they're
that
not.
they broke
She's
out
like,
of jail.
So you busted out of jail.
No, we released ourselves on our own recognizance.
And she says, it's a recognizance. And then Gail says again, that baby's cute. He's a little outlaw. You can
outlaw,
tell.
Yep. And Hi tries to tell her what's up. She's like, no, don't you honey me.
Right. You can't stay here. We're a decent family now, and they got to go.
You can catch up for a while and then be on your way.
Right. And he's like, who wears pants around here?
She being kept on a short leash there, huh?
Yeah. She get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
This is your wife.
Right?
Are you going to fuck me, Gail?
Right.
'Cause
Gail, are
she
you
fucked
going to
me a
fuck
lot.
me? She fucked me all the time.
Like,
I got a baby now.
right? You
Like,
can
I'll
go.
just, no one's going to even miss you. I can shoot you, put you out back.
Right? She goes to bed and Hi comes in and sits at the end. And she's like, are they still here? Yeah, just a day or two.
Yeah, she's like,
right.
really? No.
They're fugitives, Hi.
Right. We can't have them here.
We got to have a little charity. She promises, though, tonight and tomorrow tops.
Right. But
They
no.
go to sleep and he has this dream.
Mm-hmm. Well, like a nightmare or something of the lone biker of the apocalypse.
Fire, flames.
Giving me Ghost Rider that Nicolas Cage played later
Uh-huh.
on.
Yep. All the powers of hell at his command. And he has these little burnt baby shoes on his belt, which I guess are
Yes.
his.
I'm assuming that they were his.
But like, I'm not
I
going to get
don't
into all
know.
that. But
There's
how
like
is
a
this grown
whole-
man that was like an orphan sold on the black market still have his fucking baby shoes through all the places he's probably been?
I don't know. Maybe it's a black market thing. They look like Cabbage Patch shoes.
They
don't
do.
even look like
yeah,
baby
they
shoes.
do
They're
fully
like
look
Cabbage
like
Patch
spray
shoes.
painted black Cabbage Patch shoes. Yep.
Yeah. 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 See?
And he's throwing grenades at bunnies on the
Oh,
roadside. He's
a
hard
real
on gentle
hard ass.
things. Yeah, leaves a scorched earth in his wake.
And he fears that he might have unleashed him on himself.
Was it a dream or a vision?
And then he imagines the fury release when Mrs. Arizona finds little Nathan missing.
And then we see Mrs. Arizona screaming at the crib side.
Mm-hmm.
And Hi wakes up to Ed singing to the baby. And now what was she singing? Because
That was a weird little
at a
lovely
certain
song.
point,
I know about
there
someone
was
getting
some
murdered. I
parts
meant
about
to look
people
that
getting
up.
murdered. And I was like, what the fuck?
I
Did
was
she
like,
just say
huh?
a little girl got
Because it
murdered?
was kind of nice, and then whatever. And then I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I meant to look it up, and I didn't.
And it was another one of those. We should have done some more research on this, but Coen Brothers, just like in "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," it gave me a "Down by the river I
Right.
pray." That one, you
Yeah.
know, like it was. It
It's
had
just
that
one
kind
of those
a.
old Appalachian
It might
tunes
be.
from out in the
You
holler.
sing a song to your baby about little children getting killed.
Why not? Because
Maybe
why
you do.
not?
Maybe
It
you
keeps
do.
them out of trouble. What happens when you go down by the well? Fuck around.
So there's a press conference on TV with the Arizonas. Mr. Arizona has sent the wife and other kids out of town until
He's
they
not
figure
saying
out where
where
Nathan Jr. is.
until they
yeah.
could be a nuclear family.
But it's still
again.
business as usual at Unpainted
Right?
Arizona.
He's like,
So the song was called Down in the Willow Garden.
It was called Down in the Willow
something. Yeah,
Garden.
Down in the Willow
the
Garden.
song.
And it's entitled after the murder victim Rose Conley.
Oh,
Rose Conley. It's
So
not
it's a
spelled.
traditional Appalachian murder ballad.
Is there two N's or one?
1, 2.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sorry, I was counting them.
Well, just making sure. And so yeah, so he's like, oh, but business as usual. And then like
Right? And he's
he
like,
had the police,
Yeah.
the sheriff,
Mhm.
the FBI,
These assholes.
and like possibly the CHP at a certain point. I saw
Yeah.
like every branch of law enforcement was there within hours. It must be nice to be fucking rich,
But they ain't doing shit.
but dirtying up his house.
They got their feet on the fucking unpainted
Hey,
furniture.
the only time the cops came into my house, it was because they raided it, but it was they were shitty to our house.
They were
But that's
shitty
because,
to
but
our
they're
house.
supposed to be there to solve a fucking crime,
Right, like
It's
a
not
baby has
different.
been kidnapped.
And then he says that the baby was in his jammies, sir.
Yeah.
None of them babies had jammies
No,
on.
no, they did not.
And he said they had Yodas and shit on them.
They
Is
had
that what he
nothing
said?
on them. They were in diapers.
Nothing.
Mm.
They have no leads.
He asked, like, do you have any disgruntled employees? Like, yeah, they all are. I ain't running no daisy farm. My motto is do it my way or watch your butt. Sounds like a joyous job at the old unpainted furniture store. Do you think it could be an employee? Don't make me laugh. They don't do anything without my say-so. Or without my say-so, they wouldn't like piss themselves if their pants were on fire. Like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. And so he does not realize his kids were not in jammies, whatever. He gets fingerprinted to rule out his prints, and he leaves fingerprint ink on fucking everything.
Yeah, it is $500 camel hair coat.
So he loses his mind at the cops. Go do your fucking job.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all.
Then we see the cops finding the hole in the ground from Gale and Nivelle, which this is when, like, this looks like the CHP. Those helmets are Chip's helmets they're wearing. Remember the show Chips?
Oh, that would be the only reason I know. Was one of them Eric Estrada? That would have been amazing.
But, like, why would the California Highway Patrol be searching for escape? I mean, I can see why they'd be searching the road for escaped prisoners, I guess. But, like, where's the prison people?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
And then the apocalypse biker rolls up, so we find out he's a real guy.
Yeah, the Lone Rider comes on the scene where the boys escaped in the big hole.
And he doesn't say shit to nobody. He just rolls up, looks at the hole, rolls away.
What is his fucking problem with rabbits?
Did he do something to a rabbit again?
He, like, shot another rabbit. Or shot at. And these fucking boots, they're trimmed with pubes. It grosses me the fuck out.
Merkin boots.
They're so... It's like, he's so gross. There was a long time where I wouldn't watch Westerns because everybody was all grimy, gross. Like, I can't.
And his teeth.
He's just nasty, and there's pubes on his boots. It looks like when you take a shower and it's like all the hair that collects when you wash your hair and you have to like wipe it up. That's what his boots are trimmed with. It's disgusting.
Maybe
a drain clog.
Yep. And he goes straight from the hole to the bathroom of the gas station, sees their pomade can. So he's on the tail.
He gets a good whiff, and then off he goes. And then Gale and Yvel are eating cereal all gross.
Disgusting.
And they go, why aren't you breastfeeding?
Sir.
Excuse me.
You're clearly capable.
Get out of my fucking house.
Mind your own business.
The fuck out.
Oh, we weren't breastfed. That's what's wrong with us.
Get out of my fucking house.
That's what the counselor tells us.
What?
And she's like, you need to go. We're having some decent friends over.
And he's like, what she means is
for your own protection.
For your own protection. So, you know, whatever. Like, and in fact, he might miss the whole thing too.
I'm just gonna go out with these guys. And
my
she's
God.
that look. If Luke could
like,
kill,
no, you're
really?
not. No,
she don't say a word, and he's like, actually, maybe that's not a swell idea.
Right.
So many social engagements, so little time, says
Right.
Gale.
Ugh.
So then Glenn and Dot are their respectable friends
These
that come
people
over.
show up, and I'm immediately exhausted.
Dot,
Why?
I want to see that baby.
She starts screaming about this, like, oh, he's asleep.
He is the angel from heaven.
He is an angel from heaven.
You're going to send him to state. You're going to send him to Arizona
my
State.
God.
Are you getting the DT shot? Are you getting the...
We see that they've got like 5 fucking asshole kids on the car.
These kids are beating the
I
cart
hate these
immediately.
Kids. Oh,
destroying the house. Need a beer, Glenn?
Fart on the wall.
Does the Pope wear a funny hat? And Glenn and his Pollock jokes that are not funny.
He's
Do you
like,
remember how much as a kid people told Polish jokes?
Yes.
Like, could you even identify a Polish person?
No.
Would you know if somebody was of Polish heritage?
No.
Why would it even come up? Like, I don't. Are Polish people dumb? I don't know. But that's what they told us when we were kids.
This guy's pretty dumb. I don't know.
Well, and I'm gonna guess he at least thinks he's not Polish,
right? But I
he's
bet
real
he
dumb.
finds out later on that he is. That'd be hilarious.
So yeah, telling his offensive jokes. The fucking kid shoots High in the crotch with the water gun.
Oh God, this fucking
Mr. McDonough peed his pants.
I would rather give myself a nose job with a hammer than spend the afternoon with these people.
Oh my God, they're so bad.
I can't. Like, I would just leave. Like, nope, I'm not. These are not respectable people. I'll get rid of my dipshit friends, but you get rid of them. How about we each?
Yeah,
we're both on a mission.
You
both
get rid
never
of
see
Dot
these
and
people
Glenn.
again.
Yep.
I'll get rid of Gale and Yvel, and we will just move on with our lives.
And these people are nosy as fuck, just like
Oh
Gale
my
and Yvette about
God.
how'd you get this baby so fast?
Right?
Like, shh. Why are you? No, but that's not polite.
Mind your fucking business.
It's not polite.
Because he talks about remember we had that problem with my sperms.
He
And
says
they
it
told me it would
multiple
be
times.
5
And why do they
years.
want more kids?
Right?
You have so many kids.
Well, because they get too big to cuddle. That's what he says. She says is they get too big to cuddle. So not fucking.
I mean, yes, they do, but that's a weird man who we'll find out later is even weirder. So it's got a gross connotation.
This whole thing
to it.
is fucking weird. So yeah, he tells them that they told him it would be 5 years before they had a healthy white baby.
And we're not going to talk about what he said was available at the time.
No, because it's
offensive.
Terrible, but you can imagine. Because that's what they want. We'll adopt your baby to eat.
Yes. They'll only give you that's all these guys want is a white, healthy baby.
Yes.
And guess what? Little Amber with her prom pregnancy did not carry it to term so that she could hand it over to you.
No, she's going to chuck it in the dumpster.
She's going to chuck it in the dumpster.
She's going to flush it down the toilet. She's going to try.
This isn't the movie Juno.
No. This is that movie about the prom night dumpster baby.
Yes, it is.
On Lifetime.
It is
on
topical.
Lifetime.
It's topical, y'all.
It's topical. It's ripped from the headlines.
And so they go outside and Dot is making some delicious French's mustard sandwiches. Because that appears to be all that goes on these sandwiches is copious amounts of French's mustard.
I mean, I'll eat it.
I love me some
I'll like squish
French's
that
mustard on white bread.
Gooey white bread together
on
with
that
the
fucking Wonder Bread.
Ooh, get stuck to the roof of your mouth.
That's childhood right there, baby.
That's childish.
Put some Oscar Mayer bologna with a Kraft cheese
I don't want
slice.
that. You can keep that, but I'll
childhood.
take the cheese slice. Cheese slice.
Cheese slice.
She
turned into Sean Connery.
I'll take the cheese slice, and then I might smack you around a little bit.
Yes, I'm not saying that the bologna and Kraft is delicious. I'm just saying that is what, when I was in elementary school, it was either peanut butter and jelly or it was the Oscar Mayer and Kraft slice with Best Foods mayo on one side and French's mustard on the other.
Just mustard, please.
I do like mustard with bologna, though.
Oh, God, I can't with the bologna. It leaves that film.
I eat it like maybe once every 3 years, so that's why I think I can say I still like it. Is because I just eat it for nostalgia's
since I was
sake.
a kid, but I can't imagine trying it now and going, ooh, yeah.
Take me back to the lunchroom. Oh no, I'm not ever when I try it like, ooh, delicious. I
Oh,
miss this.
I
I'm
love
like,
this bologna.
I just go lunchroom, and then I'm like, that's all I needed.
Nope,
I just needed
a
one
bite.
little memory of
But
lunchroom.
I will eat just a mustard sandwich on some white bread with the
Mustard's good.
cheese slice. I'll have that.
All kinds of mustard.
All kinds of mustard.
So anyway, mustard sandwiches. And she's telling her about all these vaccines kids need. The kids are throwing food at High. High is looking overwhelmed.
Right, like you have the bank account,
He's still
life
carrying
insurance.
that one shoe.
Oh, God, that's right.
That
It's
one like rattan shoe. What the fuck was that shoe?
it
That,
looks like a
white
wicker
shoe.
It's a white wicker shoe. White wicker.
Glenn's still trying to tell terrible racist jokes, and High looks like he's about to lose his mind.
And it was like there's glasses shattering. Like, don't cut yourself, Mordecai.
He asked Glenn, "Are you satisfied? Do you ever feel suffocated?"
Yeah. Like it's pressing down on you. And he was like, yeah. And then I told Dot to lose some weight.
Oh, but she don't want to listen.
Oh.
No, I know that feeling. So
I was thinking maybe,
broaden your mind a little bit.
yeah, because I was talking to Dot. She thinks she's real cute.
What do you think about Dot? She's a Hellcat.
Yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, she looks like she could be a Hellcat. It's like, I know it's not by looking at her, but she's a Hellcat.
And she thinks you're cute. And I think Ed's cute. And he immediately, when
like, "What are
Glenn's
you
like, I
asking?"
think Ed's cute, he's like, excuse me?
What? And
Well, we're swingers.
to swing.
Wife swap.
Oh, and then
And he knocks him
punches
the fuck
him
out.
right
Well,
in the face.
Yeah, he doesn't knock him out, but he knocks him down. And Glenn takes off running. You're crazy, and runs
Keep your
right into a
goddamn
tree.
hands off my wife.
And so, like, High didn't break his nose. The tree broke his nose.
Yeah, he ran to whatever that was. He just wasn't watching where the fuck he was
That's
going.
your fault.
It's your fault.
So High and Ed and Junior are driving back at night. Where were they driving from?
I
Because
thought
did they
that
take
they
him to
were
the
home?
hospital? Because they were home.
That's what I
They must have
thought.
gone to the
They
hospital.
must have.
So yeah, they're talking about he broke his nose, and he's like his kids thought it was funny,
Right. And he was like, oh, well, that's just great.
and he doesn't tell her. She's like, "What possessed you?" And he doesn't tell her.
No,
He just
he
says he was
doesn't.
provoking me.
Right. And she was like, well, that was your foreman, so he's probably going to fire you now. And he's like, well, yeah.
I expect he will.
So they pull up to the store, and High says, Junior needs Huggies. I'll be out directly.
Mind you, stay strapped in. He goes in with a nylon on his head and pulls out his gun.
And the clerk immediately hits the alarm.
And this fucking clerk,
My God, this weird gray-toothed
He had
albino.
braces.
Oh. Why them teeth gray?
Tessa needs to get her prescription checked.
I was watching it on my phone.
Oh, that explains it.
That explains that.
Because I was watching it on the big TV. So yeah, it's racist.
I guess that makes sense. But that doesn't explain the albinoism.
Yeah, he was pale as hell. So he's robbing the joint and she sees him. That son of a bitch.
Yes, and she comes out
Ooh,
like, you
she
son
bails.
of a bitch.
Yeah, she's yelling at him. She gets in the driver's seat and takes off, leaves him, and he runs out as the cops are racing up.
Right, and he
And
turns
they're
around and this
hauling
teenager
ass.
has a dirty, hairy gun.
And okay, there's so many things wrong with this part. Number one, the cops got there in 30 to 60 seconds.
What the fuck else are they doing? It's like out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing's happening.
Hauled ass.
I know. It caught air. It was like Blues Brothers.
Then you got this 16-year-old, maybe 18-year-old cashier.
Albino cashier.
Who comes out with this
With
fucking
gray
dirty,
teeth.
hairy gun. Like, what do you care? They
He's
don't
got
take
a
it out of
fucking
your
hand-
check.
Right?
And the cops are so eager to shoot him. One falls out
There's-
the window as they approach.
I know. They fall out of the car. They're having like this foot chase and a car chase.
And
they're
shooting without having any
No.
idea what's happening. Even though the only one shooting when they approach is the cashier.
Yes.
They allow him to keep shooting and they get back in their car and pursue. And the
Right.
one is still sitting out the window
Yeah.
shooting at this car that they don't even know who's in it. Because,
They're just going to shoot him.
yeah, so they're shooting at him. Oh
I'm
my God.
surprised.
And it's
I'm
and
not
then
surprised.
yeah. Yeah. So we do that again. He drops the diapers running.
He tries to pick him up, but they shoot at the diapers.
Yes. He hops a fence and this dog comes from the shadows.
Oh, that lunges, but he's
Woo.
chained up, just too short to make contact.
And he jumps the next fence right as the dog breaks that chain.
Yes, and then Ed hears the gunfire. She's like, "Hold on, Junior, we're gonna go pick up Daddy."
And
She
then
flips that bitch in the middle of the street.
High gets run over by a truck.
Yes, and like before she can get to it, be like, "Son, you
Got a panty on your head. Just drive fast.
Right, and so the other dogs join in with this.
Like all the
Doberman.
neighborhood dogs follow this Doberman.
Ed catches up to them, and the clerk is now in the middle of the road, drawn down. and
Yes, he's
shooting
like
at
run
the truck.
after them.
Like the store is left
Yeah, it's
Everyone's
unmanned
robbing
now.
the store right now.
fucking
No one's
idiot.
there. You fucking good guy. He's a good guy.
And the truck almost rams into the cops. Hyde turns the wheel. And then Ed's like, hang on, Nathan. We're going to take a shortcut. And the baby covers his eyes with his little hoodie.
Oh.
And the truck almost hits a house.
Right.
They stop just in time and High flies through the broken windshield because the cashier has shot out the fucking
Right.
window.
They like almost hit the house. He stops short. High flies onto the lawn. And then through the house, they're running.
Yes, we get a chase through the house.
And there's an unpainted Arizona
And
ad.
the
in
run
TV.
through the house, the cops are shooting at the
Yes!
front door of the house. They're shooting at him in the house of
Yes.
these people.
They go into the supermarket and they're shooting.
And like, what's up, Uvalde PD? Isn't this Arizona? Is that Arizona?
That's in Texas.
Oh, Texas. What the fuck? But like, this is, they get their
This is
lessons from this
Tempe.
video. Tempe.
Right?
They took
It's
the
like-
Tempe Raising Arizona training video. Fucking Benny Hill cops. Like, what the fuck?
It's pretty terrible.
And then he goes in the grocery store, and the grocery store starts blasting. The manager starts fucking pulls out a
thought that was
shotgun.
the butcher, just
or the
because,
butcher,
dude, I don't
maybe.
know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
And
Somebody who works there.
Again, I was like, oh, he had to stop and take the two slugs out of the
Yep.
thing. I was like, oh, this explains it. But then he manages to shoot off several rounds, so now I still don't understand.
And like again, people shooting in a store full of innocent people. The
Right.
cops are shooting this guy, the butcher, whoever's shooting.
Whoever, there's a woman that's screaming by with her cart and curlers and knocks
Yes.
the cop. And then like High runs out the back, Ed swoops him up, and he's all, thanks, honey, and she clocks him one.
Yes, she punches him right in the face.
What if me and the baby had been picked up? She won't live this way.
It ain't armed robbery if the gun ain't loaded.
Right. And then he sees the diapers they dropped earlier and he swoops them up too.
Yep.
And so we're back at the homestead. Gail and Evel are still there.
And so many cans of Budweiser.
Just a mess.
Like, and they're
You-
just, making a
they're
huge
dicks.
mess, watching TV. Ed comes in and's like, you're leaving tomorrow.
You gotta go.
You're
I gotta
bad
take the baby
influence.
into town for some shots. And when I get back, you better be gone. He's like, oh, you need that D-tap?
I know. Fucking Evel knows all about it.
Right.
So she takes the baby to bed and High sits down with them and apologizes. Gail says it seems pretty clear what the situation is here.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if the friction wasn't financial.
And so he says, yep, I lost my job today. So they invite him on this bank score. They're going to rob a hayseed bank.
Right. But the last Friday of every quarter, it's got more money in it than flies at a barbecue.
And they know this because someone from Nixon's administration was in jail with them. So this is going to be the beginning of a spree for them, and they're going to keep going until they're caught or they can retire.
Right, and they're going to cover the whole Southwest proper.
And he's like, well, that's kind of you to offer, but it'd be kind of cowardly for me to up and leave Ed. And Gail's like...
He's like, would it, though? You're not being true to your nature.
And
you're not doing her any good.
good.
Yeah, just sitting around here.
So we see a little flash of the lone biker.
Which I had forgotten about until he showed up. I was like, oh, I had forgotten about him.
Then High's writing Ed a letter at the kitchen table, asking her for forgiveness and understanding and saying he's going to leave. He'll never be the man she wants him to be, the husband and father they deserve. And so you see like all the characters asleep and the writer writing through the night.
Right. And we see that there's a $25,000 reward for Nathan Jr.
And when he signs the letter, he signs it, "You're loving Herbert." Yeah, I'd go by High too, I guess, if my name was Herbert.
Herbert.
And the biker pulls up overlooking their little domicile.
Yes.
Starts a fire and camps out against his bike, just watching them live, I guess.
Right. And then, like, is this where he shows up at the furniture
Next
store?
morning, he walks into unpainted Arizona.
Right. And he puts his disgusting pube boots. Get your nasty pussy boots off my desk, Leonard.
And Nathan is like, he's not having it.
He's like, I'll handle this. Like, why? You probably took him.
And he's like, you got flies. And Nathan's like, I doubt it. This place is climate controlled. All the windows are sealed.
Right. And doesn't he like snatch one right out of the air?
So he introduces himself.
Oh,
he introduces himself as Leonard Smalls. Says, my friends call me Lenny, but I have no friends.
Isn't that the name of like the Lenny from Mice and Men? I feel like I read that's the name of Lenny.
Oh, is that
from,
why
like,
they
Leonard
named him
Smalls
that?
is Lenny from Mice and Men.
Oh, okay.
He just wants some rabbits.
So he tells him he's not a customer, he's a manhunter.
Right.
But he does hunt babies on occasion.
And the cops won't find your boy. You want to
find your butt if it had a bell on it.
You want to find an outlaw, you call an outlaw. If you want to find a Dunkin' Donuts, you
call a cop.
Ah!
Go Lenny.
Go Lenny.
And
Pussy
so-
boots. Go Lenny.
Nathan tells him there's a $25,000 reward in it, so if you can find him, claim it. And Leonard's like, well, we got to talk about market price.
Right. He's like, actually.
Like, you're offering $25K, but
The people that I know
will give me more.
will give me way more. In fact, I fetched about $30,000 back on the black market when I was a baby, but them's was $1954.
So for $50K, I'll track him, find him. And that's when he snatches the fly out of thin air out of his face. And I'll kick their butts at no extra charge.
And he was like, I'll find the boy regardless. And if
what if I don't pay?
The market will.
The market will.
You
Nathan
don't
says,
sell
you're an
that
evil
baby.
man. This
Sold
is
a
a screw
baby.
job.
White baby.
And he picks up the phone to call the police, and Leonard's gone like the wind. Whoosh. So High's asleep at the kitchen table. He forgot to leave in the middle of the night, I guess.
Right.
And now this part I don't get. So she was supposed to leave to take the baby
That's
somewhere.
what I wrote.
So where the fuck she go and leave the baby?
Don't know why
And she left the baby with Gel in a veil.
Gel in a veil.
Gel in a veil?
Gel in a veil.
Gale in a veil?
Pipette.
Come on. But like what? He was passed out at the
know.
kitchen table. You left
don't
the
know
baby
why
with
she
them?
left
You
the
hate
baby.
them.
I don't know.
So anyway, he wakes up and they are all home alone with the baby and she's gone. And they're like, she's going to be home soon.
Right.
And they're woken up, or not woken up. Then there's a knock at the door and it's fucking Glenn.
It's fucking Glenn showing up talking all kinds of shit.
In a neck brace. Yeah, talking some
Right.
mad shit. You're in a whole shitload of trouble. I know that baby's Nathan Jr., but he's not just going to turn him in. No, I want the baby. They want a sixth baby?
She wants them to cuddle.
Oh, Dot'll be around tomorrow to pick him up.
Yeah, you got till tonight to like break
Break
the
it.
news.
Either that or you go to jail.
Wow.
And I'll be sending you my doctor bill.
This is some baby business.
So he
Baby
turns around
business.
and sees the blinds move and realizes that Gale and Yvelle heard all of this.
He's
And
like,
he walks in and
"Fuck."
sees, this is where I'm like, he comes in and there's like a physical change to him, like where his one eye is squinting and twitching and one hand's all curled up. And it's like, because he just knows.
He knows that they're like
Something's
gonna
coming.
do some shit. Well, that was another thing about the his hair. I guess Nicolas Cage loved his hair in this movie, and I guess like the bigger the danger, the higher his hair gets. Like
I
his
just thought
hair
it was
gets
the more
angry.
frantic he got.
Well, that too, yeah, that too. But like his hair goes all Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it sure does. And so he heads in and gets jumped like fucking immediately by his old buddies who want this baby now for themselves.
Exactly. They're gonna take this baby, and they're gonna
get the ransom.
They're gonna get the reward.
And so this fight.
I know.
Full on again, like hardcore, destroys everything in the house, throws him through a wall.
Yes.
But Avell with the baby.
I know. He's like,
he takes him in the bathroom and hides
together.
him and covers his ears so he can't hear the fight. It's very sweet.
Oh, it's very sweet.
Cute. And so they take the baby and the car seat. They leave Hyde tied up to a chair.
Right. And they go back for the
the Dr. Spock.
Yes. And then on the way, they pass by Ed and she says, good.
Ugh.
But once she hears about how the baby's gone.
Right. So then Gail and Avell are singing to the baby, driving away. She passes him.
Right.
He's like, she comes home, finds him. He's like, don't worry about it. And she's like silent.
No.
Like she's broken already. He's loading up all his guns and is like, let's go get Nathan Jr.
Right. And then meanwhile in the car, Junior has pooped himself, but he smiled at Avell. He smiled
and he gives him a little squeeze. Oh, he's falling in love already.
So cute.
So they stop to get diapers, and Gail's running around playing like airplane with him in the parking lot in his car seat.
And like Avell, so these balloons blow up into funny shapes. Like, no, not unless round is funny.
Shape. And so they go to leave. Well, he robs the store.
Well, the clerk is wrapping it up, and then he robs him anyway. And then they take off with the baby on the roof of the car like it's a coffee.
Because of this movie,
yes,
I was always extra sure
never
not to leave the baby on the roof of the car or in the street.
Put the baby on.
I don't think I ever put the baby on the top of the car, but like I was always there was always that thought though, putting the baby in the car if you had to set him down at all in like down on the sidewalk or something. You're like, oh god,
yeah, like don't let me forget that I'm carrying around this baby.
So they get in and take off, and they're like, "Where's Junior?" And they both look up at the roof like,
"Oh,
and then he slams the brakes, which like if you thought the baby was on the roof.
Right?
What the fuck did you slam on the brakes, Gail?
He panicked.
Oh.
He panicked.
But he's not up there.
No.
So they scream the whole way back to the store.
No! It's just like, oh, we got a little Nathan Jr.
And so they get him. And the cashier had just stood up. So he told them to count for 10 minutes, but they might be back in 5.
Right, to make sure how you're counting. And he's like, oh, screw it. And he gets up and
sees him hauling ass down the road.
And he lays back down and starts counting again.
And they break just at the baby again. So risky.
I know. Well, it was filmed in reverse. I mean, like, obviously they didn't do it, but that's how they did it, was they filmed that in reverse of them, like, backing away from. But even still, I would be so paranoid that it wasn't actually in reverse. Like, I'm not hitting the gas pedal. I won't do it.
And then Avell wants a promise that they're never going to leave the baby.
Yes, whenever we get him, ever leave the baby. Now he's Gail Jr.
What is it with this baby? This little angel-faced baby. Everyone
he's an
falls in
angel
love.
from heaven.
That's right.
Oh, that was the other thing, because I wrote down all this shit. That Frances McDormand and Holly Hunter were roommates at the Yale School of Drama in 1982.
That they were friends or something.
Yeah, they were roomies.
Right. That seems right.
Could you imagine the chitter chatter in that room betwixt the two of them?
No.
The accents in that room.
I don't even know what their real accents are. I just know they both
Holly
have done
Hunter
a bunch
just
of
sounds like that.
wacky accents.
I mean, maybe not quite as tight as Ed is, but pretty close.
So when we flash to Ed driving in her cop uniform, looking dead behind the eyes.
Oh, she is. Nope.
High's in the passenger seat trying to apologize, and she's like, nope, I don't want to feel better. I don't care about me.
I don't care about us.
I just want this baby.
Right. It doesn't, if we don't get him back, I'm not going to go on living.
And even if we get him back, I don't want to go on living with you.
Yeah.
I still love you. I don't blame you. This whole thing's crazy. It was my idea.
So I just...
But she's finally realized, wow, we fucking kidnapped a child.
Right. We kidnapped a child.
She's finally come to her senses.
And now that child that we kidnapped has been kidnapped, but not really kidnapped.
Right.
being returned.
Yes. So the lone biker walks out from the sunset, walks into their house, sees it's destroyed,
Right.
sees the ad for the bank, and takes off.
He knows where to go.
So at the bank,
Yes. Would they go? They're going to like go in and rob this bank.
what are we going to do with the baby?
We're going to leave him here.
In
It's
the
like,
car?
What if we get shot and killed and he's not discovered
It'll be
for
hours.
He's a very responsible parent.
So they take the baby with them in his car seat to
So
rob
he's
the
not
bank.
such a smart and responsible parent.
So they tell him to freeze and get on the ground.
We're like, well, what should we do? Freeze or get on the ground? Because you told us to freeze, then I'd have to get on the ground, which means I'm not freezing. But if I like freeze, then that means I can't
Just
get on the ground.
ground.
Just get on the ground
And
then
then
freeze. Freeze once you're there.
Shit, where'd all the tellers go?
We're on the ground.
Sir? And the cops are already, you can hear the sirens already in the distance. Fill this bag, and they fill the bag with money and one of those pressurized ink bomb things.
Right. And then, of course, they take off and forget the baby.
Again. And they're driving, and the fucking ink thing explodes, and they can't see anything.
And then they almost run right into High and Ed.
And they break, and Ed and High come open the doors. No
Where's
baby.
the baby? And they take the Spock book and head back to the bank.
And ML is worried, sick about the baby. Don't
Right.
leave us. He's
Don't
our baby too.
Right. They leave them behind. And the baby again is in
On
the road.
And then sirens, shooting sounds, explosion, and High sees him.
Right.
And his eyes getting squinty again.
They rush to beat the rider to the baby, but he's blown up the cops and he swoops up the baby carrier.
Snatches him.
And fires him.
Shoots out their windshield as
Right.
he drives past. Turns around, comes back, shoots out the back window.
Right.
Throws a grenade.
grenade.
They get out just in time. Fucking car explodes.
And then he roars like Jaws.
That's gonna be the thing anytime anything roars now.
He roars like Jaws and Jaws the Revenge.
And he turns around and comes back and almost runs over High, but High grabs onto the pedal and is dragged
God.
across the gravel.
Why did he do
Oh,
that?
and the biker steps on his hand. He lets go, and he confronts Ed. Give me that baby!
Oh, she is
I
not
want
playing
that
with
baby,
you.
you
She
warthog
is-
from hell!
She is not fucking around. She walks right up and takes that baby.
He pulls out some throwing knives or some shit, and High pulls the gun,
And he shoots the knife out of his hand.
and then he knifes his gun
He
hand.
knifes his gun hand and then he guns his knife
hand.
hand.
That's right. That's exactly what happened. And then Ed has the baby. She runs into the bank.
He
Everyone's
tells
still
her to
laying
run
down.
along, yeah.
The biker rides his motorcycle through after her.
Right after he squeezes High.
Yes, he or no, wait, that's after this.
That
actually.
is.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah, no, that's right.
And so the biker runs in after her. She goes down an alley. High's waiting with the board,
And he knocks him off the bike, and
Yep.
then he tells her to run along.
And then he gets the throwing knife in the
Oh,
board.
and he gets kicked with them puke boots.
And that chain weapon thing that he whips around and gets the board from them. And then he grabs him, headbutts him,
And then
punches him.
squeeze
High spits his tooth in his face.
yes, face.
And then he fucking... Or no, first he crawls under the truck and he pulls him out by his feet. And
that's
then he just
right.
starts hugging him to death.
Oh, it's gross.
Like you can hear his bones starting to
Oh, he
like
just
he had
needs
fractured ribs
he
after
needs
that.
a wipe down. Like he probably smells so bad.
And that's where you see for just a second
I didn't
that
see this.
this dirty biker has the Woody Woodpecker tattoo that High has.
Huh.
And there's like a moment of where High looks like he notices it. And I thought, oh, are they going to show, like, is that his brother or his dad, or they came
Right.
from the same place? Like,
Whatever,
what's the
but no.
symbol? But it never says. And then you see that he's got the pin to the grenade
Right.
and he
Blows up.
explodes everywhere.
Right. He leaves
Body
a
parts.
smoking pussy
His
boot
pussy
on the
boots
ground.
hit the floor. His
Pussy
baby
boots
booties
hit the floor.
Yes. The baby booties hit the ground.
Right. And so they take baby back to the house and they put him back in the crib and they're caught.
By Nathan Sr.
And he wants to know what the fuck.
Yeah, get away from there.
What the fuck is going on here? And like,
But he sees the baby's fine.
right. And he was like, oh, they saved him. And then
Are you in with the biker?
right? And they were like, no, we were saving him from the biker.
And they're like, hey, in a reward situation, there's usually no questions asked.
And then Ed says, like, we don't want the reward. We didn't bring him back for the money.
And he tries to offer them home furnishing
Right.
credits.
He was like, I would rather just
and
give
not,
you-"
he didn't even say free furniture. He
No,
said a
he
line
said-
of credit.
Yeah,
So what, they have to pay it back?
probably because
So you could have $25K cash, or you can owe me $25,000 for saving my baby?
yeah.
A
Yeah.
line of credit.
Which is funny. I don't know. Did I mention it on here? Did I mention it outside about Glenn, how he played that
No, you mentioned it outside,
furniture salesman? That was kind of weird.
That's
and Drop
weird.
Dead Gorgeous.
And there's a
I wonder if he
furniture
based
salesman
that guy
connection.
on this. Like, he was like, oh, yeah, I was
Maybe.
in that movie.
I'm going to be
weird.
Nathan Arizona.
I'm going to be Nathan Arizona, but worse.
And so he realizes, though, when he sees them, like, because she's like, can we just look at him one more time?
Right. And he, like, leaves them in there with this baby.
Well, he can just tell.
I mean, I guess, but, like, still.
And they explain they can't have babies of their own.
Like, he didn't even want to pick up his baby.
No, he didn't pick him up, hold him, nothing. He just smiled
left him
and
with his
waved
kidnappers.
and left him with his kidnappers.
Okay, all right.
So they explain they can't have one of their own. And he's like, well, you just got to keep trying and hope medical science catches up with you like us. Caught up with us with a vengeance.
Yeah, with the vengeance.
And he's like, even if you ever do, you still got each other.
Oh, well.
Those are kind words, but
right.
I think we're splitting up. Well, ma'am, I don't know much, but I do know human beings. You brought back my boy, so you must have your good points too.
Right.
So they get a little, thoughtful.
All
And then
right.
he says, you can go the way you came in.
Yeah. Back out the windows with his.
And before you do another foolish thing like busting up, I suggest you sleep on it at least one night.
At least one night.
So that night, Hai has a dream.
Yes, and he was light as ether.
A floating spirit
Mm-hmm.
visiting things to come.
And Gale and Yvel returned to the prison back in the hole they crawled out of.
He sees the Arizona family years
Mm-hmm.
later on Christmas morning.
Opening a present from a kindly couple.
Glenn getting pulled over by the cops, trying to still tell people about this kidnapped baby that has now been
Right.
returned.
And then he tells one off-color joke too many.
Watching Nathan Jr. progress from afar, taking pride in his accomplishments like he was their own.
Mm-hmm. And he's a quarterback.
In a gold fucking
Yes,
lettered
you know,
football thing. I
like
guess it's a
in-
dream. It's a
in
dream. It's
heaven.
fine. Right?
Right.
A
And then
heavenly quarterback.
Yeah, heavenly quarterback, teen angel.
And then he sees further than he ever saw before.
Mm-hmm.
To he and Ed, old together,
An
being
old
visited
couple
by their children and grandchildren.
and grandchildren.
And still in this shitty trailer on
Yes!
this shitty brown couch.
It's their
And I never talked
home.
about that couch.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have that couch, but you knew somebody
Oh,
with this
yeah,
couch,
everybody knew
right?
somebody that
Everybody
had
knew
that
somebody
couch,
with
yeah.
that couch. And this scene right here, though, where all the kids are visiting that dining room, that is like, you guys, the brownness of the 80s
The palette
is perfect.
captured. Yep.
Perfect.
Mhm. The paneling.
The either
The
orange
wood,
or brown, and always
brown,
some paneling that was fake
nicotine
wood.
stain.
Yep. Everybody's
Yeah.
smoking inside. It's all captured in this
Yep.
film.
It's all there for you.
And the one thing though that I kind of covet, I don't know if it's hideous or
I
beautiful.
coveteth.
Did you notice these plastic clear brown tinted dining chairs?
Oh, no. I'm going to have to go back and look because you know.
They're like something you would find at the hologram house.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I ain't never seen no like coffee colored
Coffee color.
clear
Mm.
lucite
When you put it
chairs
like that, though,
before. I know. I'm like, I don't know if I
coffee-colored?
hate it or I love it.
Like, were they coffee colored before or were they clear
no,
before?
it
and
seemed
now
like they were meant to be coffee.
They weren't just
colored.
nicotine stained?
No. And then what is the very last thing where he says, I don't know, maybe it was Utah?
Oh, because he's like, I dreamt about, like, maybe we'll go somewhere where you can always be happy or something like
Okay,
that. And he's
maybe
like,
it
maybe
was
Utah.
Okay.
But yeah.
And that's, like I said, all it doomed us to do was love the Coen brothers,
Right. Nicolas Cage.
of course, and Holly Hunter.
And Holly
really.
Hunter,
And John
really.
Goodman. I mean,
I
because I love
know.
John Goodman and like everything.
I always wanted to marry me a Dan Connor.
There you go.
Before he, like, died but didn't die, and then they won the lottery, and then he cheated. That was
Or
awful
whatever.
what they
That
did.
was such a weird storyline.
because he
Because
died, on
the
Roseanne.
show. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He looks like he's doing great now.
Yeah. So once again, no yearbook signings, y'all.
This is getting fucking embarrassing. I'm
It's
gonna take
fucking
a trash
embarrassing.
can. Where's
Get
the
a trash
trash
can. So again, doomgenerationpodcast@gmail.com. Write us an Apple review. If you send me a DM, y'all, I get a lot of DMs. If you want it to be something we read on the show, you gotta like specify this is a yearbook signing.
Wow.
No, I mean not. I get a lot of DMs. The show gets
She's
a lot
like,
of
you
DMs.
guys, I get a lot of DMs.
The
and
show gets a lot of DMs.
but we ain't
and
got
like
shit to read. So I don't know what
comments on
that.
photos. So like I could go through like the comments people left on photos we did all week, but like
that's
that's something I have to start collecting, like every little tidbit that
Covet them.
yes. So yes, please let us know if it's something that's a yearbook signing and you want us to read it.
And please let us know if it's something we did.
Yes. And stay tuned for Invasion of the Pod People. And until next week.
We'll talk at you next time.
Later, Doomers.
The Neatcast, your source for offbeat news.
Marauding monkeys bring fear to historic Indian tourist haven. These monkeys have gotten aggressive. Anytime you hold a package in their hand, they'll come up and they'll snatch it from you. Like gang members. Like, take your chain.
Oh my god.
Hot takes on sports.
Drew Brees is a legend. How dare you?
He is, but he's done.
No, he's not. You pardoned him. He's coming back.
He wants to pardon Drew Brees. I want to throw him in prison.
And deep dives into the paranormal.
The Loveland Frogman. At approximately 3:30 a.m., an unnamed businessman, or the most credible witness maybe you can find.
Unnamed
I was just doing business when I saw a frogman.
Join us every Monday and let's talk some bullshit. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your favorite podcasting apps.
Hello, I'm Kai Bobby, co-host of the Rotten Treasure podcast, where I talk with my friend Jim O'Donnell and a special guest about movie franchises that arguably went on a little longer than they should have. Hey Jim, what movies do we review?
Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House,
Wait.
Home
Jim,
Alone,
Jim,
Holiday Heist,
We review more than just Home Alone movies.
Tremors, Tremors 2, Aftershocks.
Do we have any guests? Do we have guests, Jim?
Scott Campbell, Robert and Donnell from Watching It, Sarah Carter.
Okay, how do people find us on the internet, Jim?
Follow us at Rotten_Treasure on Instagram, at Rotten Treasure on Twitter, Rotten Treasure on Facebook.
You know what? That's enough of your list. So, folks, if you still want to find us, you can listen to us on your preferred podcast app, such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Podbean.com, Google Podcasts, Listen Notes, not SoundCloud.